Hi, my name's Gavin Smith, and welcome to my Capstone project. Today, I'm going to be taking you behind the scenes of how I film one of my classmates' variety shows. I'm going to be going over lighting, which, as you can see, is already lit here in the studio. I'm going to be going over camera placement, which is decided upon by the host of the show, and the technical directing, which controls the shots that are put on the TV screen. Now, I hope you enjoy my project, and I also hope that you learn a little something about what goes on behind the scenes of a TV production.
Like I said before, lighting is important, and it's important because the right lighting makes sure that the subject on the camera is correctly exposed. Since the lighting is already set up in the studio, I'm setting up the camera shots. With this show, a multi-camera setup is being used with 3 cameras displaying 3 different camera angles. This first camera is camera 1, which is capturing a shot of the couch where the guest of the host will sit. To set this shot up, I'm positioning the camera to capture the end of the couch closest to the host's chair. This next camera is camera 2, which is capturing a wide shot. The wide shot will show both the host and the guest of the show. To set this shot up, I'm positioning the camera between both couches and zooming out. But before zooming out, I have to zoom all the way in to make sure the shot is focused. To do this, there is a knob on each of the handles of the cameras. The right one is to zoom in and out, and the left one is to focus the camera so the shot isn't blurry. Once the shot is focused, I can zoom out and move on to the third and final camera. This final camera, being camera 3, is capturing a shot of the host. To set this shot up, I need to center the camera on the host, making sure that he has enough headroom, which is the space between his head and the top of the camera frame. After that shot is set up, I have to zoom in and make sure that he is focused on the camera. And once it is all set, we can go in the control room and start the show.
Now we're in the control room, and this is where the magic happens. Let's start the show. You ready, Mike?
Let's do it, yeah.
Starting in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Right now, I'm recording the opening monologue that the host has prepared for the show. When it comes to recording this, there isn't much to it. The countdown is used to give the host his cue for when he is supposed to start his monologue. After the countdown, I start the segment by pressing the audio transition button next to the lever on the bottom row of buttons to fade into the shot of the host. Then, it is my job to pay attention to when he is done talking, so I know when to fade out by pressing the audio transition button again. Now, it's time to get ready for the... This is the part of the show that I'm sure you're very familiar with if you watch any of the late night shows. The host is introducing his guest, bringing him out to interview him. Now, this is when the magic happens. As the technical director, it is my job to switch between camera shots based on how the conversation between the guest and the host is going. Normally, there would be a director standing behind me, telling me when to preview a shot so I can cut to it when the time is right. In this case, since I'm a one-man production crew, I'm acting as both the director and technical director. So I'm deciding when it is best to switch from one shot to another based upon the conversation between the guest and the host. When talking about switching from one shot to another, I'm talking about pressing buttons. All these buttons look confusing, but when you get the hang of it, it's quite simple. And when it comes to this specific show, there are only 6 buttons that I need to worry about as the technical director, and they're all on the bottom row. I need to worry about the first 4 buttons on the left of the bottom row, and the last 2 buttons on the right of the bottom row. The first button previews a black screen that is used for transitions between segments. The second button previews the shot displayed on camera 1, the third button previews the shot displayed on camera 2, and the fourth button, you guessed it, previews the shot displayed on camera 3. The fifth button is the button I press to cut from shot to shot, and the sixth and final button fades in and out of shots, which is mostly used between segments and at the beginning and end of the show. As you can see on the TV screen, the top 2 frames are the ones that I'm focusing on. The one on the left says PV for preview, and the one on the right says PGM for program. So the shot in preview is the one that I'm getting ready to cut to, while the shot in program is the one that's being recorded and shown on screen. This process makes the flow of the conversation look natural when it is being broadcast. Although I'm mainly focusing on the top two screens, there are screens below them that show the shots that are not in the program or in preview, but I can look at them to make sure that I have the right shot in preview. Once the conversation is over, it's important for me to pay attention so I can cut to the host closing out the interview, and so I can preview the black screen so I can fade out smoothly and set up for the next segment. Now, it's time for the third and final segment, which is the musical performance. The countdown before is always necessary because not only is it a cue for the host, it is counting down the seconds until the broadcast is live. Another important aspect of the behind the scenes of a TV production is communication. Normally, the technical director would be in contact with the floor director through the headset, and the floor director gives a cue. Since there is no floor director, it's up to me to stay on time with the host cue and transition in. In this case, the host has chosen himself to be the musical act, and he wants it to be filmed on camera too, which again is the wide shot. So all I have to do is transition in, let him perform, then wait until he closes out the show to fade out.
Now that filming's done, we hand the footage to the production team and they edit it all together and make the final product. But for now, I hope you learned a little something about what goes on behind the scenes of a TV production. Thanks for watching.